Hi, and welcome to It's All Interventional. Today, we're going to cover the 5 peripheral vascular systems. This is really important to the clinical team as well as the coders. It's not going to be a super in-depth class like you get in A&P, but it might be a great refresher for you. Stick around and see if there's anything new that you didn't know or maybe just forgot. In the human body, there are what we call vascular systems. When coding or charging the peripheral system, we break this down to 5 different systems: the arterial, the venous, the portal, the pulmonary, and the lymphatic vascular systems. Now, when it comes to coding or charging, these are generally all reported separately. But of course, when it comes to charging and coding, there are exceptions to every rule. This video is not going to be about how to charge and code those separately, but to let you know what those systems are, so we can get to that class, you'll know more about it. Now, what's really interesting about the pulmonary system is it's made up of arteries and veins, but is not considered part of the arterial or venous system when coding and charging are involved. Also, the portal system is a bed of veins, but those are not considered part of the actual venous system when coding and charging are involved. So before we dive into these systems, let's do a quick basic review of anatomy and physiology. Arteries take blood from the heart and deliver it to the rest of the system. The veins take blood from your body system, return it back to the heart. Lots of people will describe arteries as carrying oxygenated blood and veins as deoxygenated blood, but this is only partially true. In normal anatomy, blood being sent throughout the body via the aorta is oxygenated blood, but blood being sent to the lungs via the pulmonary artery is deoxygenated blood. Conversely, blood being returned to the heart via the veins will be deoxygenated blood, but blood being sent back to the heart via the pulmonary veins is oxygenated blood. The portal system returns deoxygenated blood from the GI tract, the intestines, the spleen, and pancreas, and returns it, filtering it through the liver back to the heart via the vena cava system. So these 4 systems, the arterial, the venous, the pulmonary, and the portal, contain nearly all the vessels and capillaries in the human body, the exception being the cardiac system, which we will cover in a separate video. The arterial system contains all the vessels, including and branching off the aorta throughout the whole body, with the exception of the coronary arteries. Think carotids, bronchioles, renals, IMA, SMA, femorals, tibials, and so many more. The peripheral venous system includes the superior and the inferior vena cavas, as well as all the veins that drain into it, minus the portal system. Think about the sinus, the jugular, the femorals, the renal veins as well. The pulmonary system is just what it says. It's those arteries and veins that make up the pulmonary vascular bed. Now, in normal anatomy, the pulmonary veins are not often treated. You might see a lot more of that done in pediatrics, but the pulmonary system is just that: pulmonary arteries, pulmonary veins. The portal system includes, but not limited to, veins like the superior mesenteric and inferior mesenteric veins, the celiac, the pancreatic, the splenic veins. And finally, there's another vascular system that's not quite as often accessed or utilized in the interventional departments like it used to be. Everybody raise your hand if you played the methylene blue after lymphangiograms. The lymphatic system, although these days probably more often identified diagnostically by CT or MRI, used to be diagnosed in the IR labs. This system is a key component of your immune system. It plays a key role by removing excess fluid from cells and tissues in your body, and then finally returning it to the circulatory system, which is then recirculated throughout your body. The lymphatic system is made up of lymphatic vessels, capillaries, and nodes. The left jugular lymphatic trunk combines with the thoracic duct at the root of the neck. This empties into the venous system via the left subclavian vein. The right jugular lymphatic trunk forms the right lymphatic duct at the root of the neck. This empties into the venous system via the right subclavian vein. The 5 peripheral vascular systems are almost always charged and coded separately. Again, not for this video, but just keep that in mind. I hope you enjoyed this refresher and got something out of it. We will cover these in much more detail in other videos. We'll talk about why you use these systems, what procedures you'll be doing, and why you might see these patients show up in your lab. Please do subscribe and like. Leave a comment if there's anything specific that you'd like to see reviewed or talked about. But stick around. There's more great stuff on the way. Gotta go for now. Special Scott. I'll see you next time on It's All Interventional.